What's going on, guys? It's Tom. Welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my MotoGP rider career here in Moto3. And this time we're here for the Sachsenring, the German Grand Prix, which just happened in real life. And this race is going to mark the halfway point of our season after this Grand Prix. So once we go to the next race in BRNO in the Czech Republic, that's going to be the start of the second half of the season. So things are moving swiftly on in this series, and hopefully I can finish season 1 fairly swiftly, and hopefully we can try and get through this fairly quickly. But nevertheless, we're going to jump into the Sachsenring for qualifying and see if we can try and continue a good form in the last couple of races. So without further ado, let's jump straight into qualifying. Right, the Sachsenring, one of the best tracks on the calendar, famous for its incredible amount of left-handers and very few right-handers. So also the shortest track on the calendar in terms of lap time, so I'm going to expect it to be a 7-lap race around here. Either way, a very nice, short and quick track. That's exactly how we like it in Moto3. So without further ado, let's jump right into our qualifying. Okay, end of lap 1. The bike feels absolutely fantastic. I've done a bit of practice in time trial, and this track is absolutely incredible on these bikes. And here we go, then out the final corner. Can we get pole position on our first lap? Not quite. 4 tenths off the pace, but made a couple of mistakes in that lap, so let's try and improve on our second time lap. Alright, we've got one more corner to negotiate, and that's the final corner. Let's try and set ourselves up for a slow in, fast outline, getting the power nice and early. Out the final corner, across the line. Is it first place? Not quite. We've lost it all again in the final sector, so let's try and go for one more here, but I'm losing a lot of time in that final sector. Okay, this definitely feels like it could be the lap. I'm absolutely on it this time around. Almost half a second up in the second sector. I'm 8 tenths up now in the third. Getting the front up a little bit, going down the hill. Then we've got a couple more corners to go now. The final sector, which is where I lose all my time, is I take a very aggressive line into this corner, and I'm very slow out of it this time. A bit better through there. One more corner to deal with. That's going to be the end of our lap here in qualifying. Hopefully we can cap it off with a good final corner, and that's exactly what we've had. We get on the power out the final corner, across the line, and we get pole by 7 tenths of a second. So that is a much nicer qualifying lap time, and that is going to probably stick us on pole position. So I think with that, we're going to call it a day for qualifying. Right now I'm on an even better lap. I'm on an absolute mad one. I just kept on pushing in that last lap, and I've never really stopped, and I'm still going even faster. So let's keep this going here. I've hit a little bit of traffic, but I'm going to still keep going, because I can pick up a little bit of a tow here behind these guys. As we go into the final corner, let's try and set ourselves up for a good exit, which is exactly what we've had. And here we go, then out the final corner, across the line. Have we improved? Yes, we have. So even faster still. That is definitely going to give us pole position then for the German Grand Prix. So probably a second up on the nearest person. So there you go. An incredible lap time there to put us on pole for the German Grand Prix. So, official confirmation. Pole position at the Sachsenring by over a second, close to TYRE and Romano Fenati. So hopefully it can promise to be a good race tomorrow on Sunday. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the Sachsenring for the German Grand Prix.
The riders have all lined up on the starting grid. We are mere seconds away from the start of what promises to be a sensational Grand Prix.
Right then, here we go then. Let's gear up to the forward lights at the Sachsenring, and let's try and get a good German Grand Prix under our belt. I've gone for the soft, so taking a bit of a different tyre strategy. Hopefully it pays off for us here. But here we go, pretty good start actually. Only me getting the jump on us into turn 1. As I got the inside, we're going to try and retake my position through this next section here. Get on the power, nice exit through there. I'm going to start up the inside of TYRE. Let's try and force him a little bit. Force his hand, and then we have retaken first place. And now, because of this soft, I want to try and establish some early dominance and an early lead on pace. So let's try and get the power down here and try and open up a gap to these guys, because I really need to focus, because I'm testing to see if the soft, the whole debate of whether I can make a tyre last or not is now gone, so I can focus on the track ahead of me and not behind me. So let's see how this lap unfolds and how we can keep the tyres this race, and hopefully we can make it work. So let's try and filter now through into this sort of second sector / third sector, and see if we can open up a gap, like I said, to the guys behind us, which would be absolutely ideal and also crucial for this race in the championship. So here we go then, through the waterfall. For the first time this race, one of the best corners in MotoGP, if not the best corner. Absolutely fantastic section with great speed. And we've now got to come into the heavy braking zone of turn, I believe it's turn 12 or something like that. It's the penultimate corner basically. Really heavy braking zone on the power. A little bit hot into there, but still a pretty damn good corner there. And now up the final corner, the infamous change of elevation as we go up the hill, massive hill here through the final corner, and I can see the rear tyres already starting to go a little bit, so I need to try and open up a bigger gap to these guys and really put some space between us. have to take into account it's not a normal 50% race. It's 8 laps around the Sachsenring. This is the shortest circuit on the calendar, and it's unique because of its amount of left-handers. And I need to really to make this count because there's a lot of laps in this race, and I can see my rear tyres already starting to go a little bit. I'm trying to take it really easy on the throttle, but I might already start regretting the fact that I've gone for soft once again. And I think soft medium is the only way I'm going to survive in Moto 3, I think, in terms of just my pace. So let's see how the rest of this race unfolds. But right now, it's worrying signs. The tension is real right now. I'm pulling away slowly, but it's not easy, and I'm trying to keep my tyres in check. So let's see how long I can keep pulling out the gap for before they start to pull me back. Okay, so just over halfway distance, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. My rear tyre is about a quarter / to a third worn, so it's going okay for me, but I just wonder when it's going to happen, when I sort of feel like I'm starting to hit the cliff. So right now we've still got tyres, which is good. So the gap we're getting is pretty massive over the guys behind, so I've just got to keep opening that gap up because eventually it's going to start coming down. Okay, the gap is starting to get pretty damn big. So far the tyres are still sticking with me, so I'm very impressed. I've got to say, I've ridden this race absolutely beautiful. Obviously under no pressure from the guys behind after getting the gap out early on, which is exactly what I wanted. I've been able to manage my tyres yet still find a sweet spot for the pace, and I've currently got a 3-second gap, which is absolutely huge on these bikes. As I now come on to start lap number 7, we're only 2 laps to go in this race. The gap should be still around 3 seconds, so there you go. I'm still extending my gap, and my tyres are just over halfway worn. So right now I'm doing a beautiful job of keeping these tyres in check, and the only thing that could go wrong now is if these tyres go on the last lap or so of the Grand Prix. Okay, the gap's down to 2.4 as we go into the last lap, so 6 tenths lost in that last lap. So even not more than that, it's actually 8 tenths now I think about it. So as you can see, the tyre's starting to go. I'm just missing my apex for turn 1. That I can feel the back end screeching on me, so I'm just starting to lose these tyres a little bit now as we go into the last lap. So I've just got to try and keep it together for this last lap of the race. I was worried that I'd lose these tyres right at the end. That's exactly what's happening. Gap down to 1.6. Horrible turn 1 there. Gap down to 8 tenths with a couple of corners to go. I'm really struggling on my tyres now. The tyres have completely gone at this point, so I'm basically defending for everything that I have. These guys are right on my chuff now, so they've only got one more corner to go. Let's try and bring it home if possible. They're going to try and get my inside and force their way through. Ertl makes the move, getting on the power nice and early out the final corner. Ertl, I think, is just stoling it because he barged me out of the way, and I'm going to take P2, so unfortunate one there. Ertl sort of barging me. If he just didn't barge me out of the way, I could have held on to that, but the tyres really went right at the end there. So definitely the soft tyres are just, I can't seem to solve the issue. When they go, they just go. So I think the next race I'm definitely going to use the mediums, especially at BRNO. So yeah, overall second place, still a pretty damn good position, and I'll take that. You know, another good result. And Ertl was not above us in the championship, so that's crucial for us. So overall, a really good German Grand Prix. We're now going to move into the Czech Republic GP at BRNO. Right, here we are then at BRNO, one of the tracks that doesn't really get spoken about too much, but it's one of my favourites on just racing as a whole. I absolutely love this circuit. It's got such a good flow to it, and it's just a great circuit to do racing on, so I'm thoroughly looking forward to this one, and hopefully we can have a nice good race. And this time I'm definitely going to go for the medium rear tyre. So let's go and jump into qualifying and see how far up the grid we can put our bike for the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Right, this circuit must be designed for me because I'm 1.2 up in the third sector on my first lap. I know this circuit off by heart, and I've raced it in past MotoGP games, but oh my god, the pace I have around here is absolutely unbelievable. Is it pole position across the line already? Yes, it is. Only by 3 tenths. I lost quite a lot of time in that final sector, but even still, wow, that is incredible. I want to go for one more lap, but oh my god, I think I've got this in the bag. Okay, this is definitely the one that's going to be the improvement. I'm half a second up in the third sector on my best, let alone the rest of the guys around this circuit. And I've just got to try and have a bit of a cleaner line and carry a bit more speed through these final 2 corners, and I should be in pretty good position for pole position here at BRNO. Here we go then, at the final corner on the power. Much nicer run through there this time around, and across the line, and it's going to be a whole second improvement, a 2:07 dead, and pole position surely for the Czech Republic Grand Prix to kick off the second half of the season. There we go, pole by 1.4 seconds over Joan Mir and Romano Fenati once again, just like in the Sachsenring, but even bigger this time, the gap compared to those two guys. This time though, in the race, running the medium tyre on the rear, not going to make the same mistake as last time at the Sachsenring, as I want to convert this quali pole into a race win, and if I'm lucky, if results go my way, I could almost hit the championship lead after this race. So let's jump straight into Sunday for the race.
Here at Brno, everything is ready for the Czech Grand Prix now. This is one of the riders' favourite tracks, so we're guaranteed a spectacular race today.
Right then, here we go. It's Brno. It's a long run to the first corner, so I might get in trouble in terms of track position down to the first corner. But here we go then. Let's try and get some good launch speed off the line. Looks like we've had a pretty good start actually. Only Mir getting the better of us right now. So I found a new start technique and that seems to be working for us quite nicely. I'm going to take the inside line into turn 1. Take my racing line. There we go. Back up into first place. But I know these guys like to cut back on through the second half of the first corner. I'm going to pick up the traction early on. Not let them get the exit on me. And so far I've held on to first place beautifully. So really nice run through there. Now it's a question of trying to settle a little bit into the race rhythm and try and see how the bike feels in race conditions. Obviously these guys are going to be pretty quick behind me and looking to get the jump on me early on, just like in the Saxon ring, trying to make the move early. So let's try and settle into an early rhythm here. But so far I've got to say the bike is handling beautifully. It was driving really nicely at the Saxon ring, but obviously the soft compound really hurt me in the actual race itself. But in qualifying it was lovely, and now so far the bike is beautiful around here no matter what the compound. Such a good track with such good flow, and the elevation change around this track is absolutely unreal. So that really adds to this track and it just gives it another level of just overall fun when it comes to riding this. And I'd love to see this track in F1 one day. I genuinely think it could be a good track for F1 cars to race around. But either way, focusing now once again on the race itself. I've got half a second to the guy behind, so I'm opening up a gap nice and early here, running a little bit wide through there. But here we go into this short little straight before we prepare to slow it down once again for the very tricky hairpin, and got to bring the front of the bike back round again. As you can see, off camber corner slightly downhill, very tricky section this one, and I've actually missed my apex by quite a bit. We got I think that might be I want to say maybe Fenati or someone behind me, or maybe Canet, so they're looking pretty racy behind, maybe Martin also. So I'm just going to try and do my thing through this section. These two corners are where I struggle the most because they're uphill and off camber, and I really struggle with my bike to get the nose in for those. But here we go, Belega is the man behind me. He's picking up a toe. I think he's a little bit too far behind though to make a move, so I should be okay into this next corner. But just bring it down for the apex, get the nose turn in, and we've only got one more corner to negotiate, and that is going to be the end of lap 1 of 6 here for Brno in our 2-minute plus lap time. Here we go then, out the final corner, picking up the traction, and here we go, starting off lap 2 now. The question is, how far behind is Belega? He's there, he's picking up a toe, but he's not close enough to make a move on me. So right now it's like we've survived the first lap onslaught from all the AI bikes, and now we've got to try and do our thing, just like the Saxon ring, set into rhythm and try and pull away. But this time hopefully we don't get caught at the end of the race and we can try and solidify this winning position. Just starting to build a gap to the guys behind. I've got to say this track just flows beautifully. The pace I've got around here is just incredible, and it's just a testament to how good MotoGP is and just how good the sport is in terms of it doesn't go to places in different countries for the sake of going to different places like, for example, F1 does with Baku. It just goes to tracks that are just decent and just great for racing. I mean, it's got 4, I think the sport goes 4 races in Spain. It goes to Jerez, the race in Ricardo Tormo, Catalunya and Aragon. So there you go. I mean, it just proves my point. They just go to tracks that are just decent and just bloody good to race at, which is a testament to MotoGP. I mean, they also go to Mugello and Misano in Italy. So there you go. I mean, just sums it up really. And F1 should really take a page out of MotoGP's book in terms of selecting the tracks for the sport. Just starting to get caught up by these guys. My rears ain't going off at all, but just sort of had a bit of a poor lap, a bit of a scruffy lap last time round. So these guys are just starting to get a little bit too close, and I'm not really sure if they're going to try and launch an attack on me. But I'm going to try and regroup here, just pick up my pace again, and try and shake them off if possible, because that red indicator is getting ever more prominent on my screen right now. Oh wow. They've just both dive one up my inside. Canet and Belega have just gone for my inside. I've just really overtaken both of them, but it looks like we might have a race in this last lap of the Grand Prix. I was just cruising away with it, and I just had a scruffy lap last time round, and it just brought the pair of them back into play, which isn't ideal as I go into this sector where I'm definitely not as fast as them. I'm a little bit poor through this section, but I've defended quite nicely first place. They're looking pretty racy so far. It looks like Belega's dropped back a little bit, but we've got just over a lap to go in this race. Hopefully we can try and bring the bike home and not get too much of a scrap, because otherwise we could lose time. Luckily I've got the tyres to match, and Canet's going to take his sort of line, whereas I take my wide line for the final corner. We just bang a little bit as we go now across the line. That's sounding way too wrong. As we go across the line side by side, look at this, great racing here, and Canet's going to make the move for first place. I'm going to try and switch back on the inside line, so I take a much more shallower and aggressive line into the first corner, and I easily bring the bike down for the apex. So I don't know what the AI do around here, but I take my sort of line through here and I make the move stick nicely back up into first place now onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. Who is in the mix for the race? But it's a 3-bike strap between myself, Canet and Belega. So it's going to be a pretty tasty final lap maybe as I get it all out of shape on the brakes there. Canet's going up my inside, but I'm just going to hang it right on the outside just about, holding on to first place for a little bit longer here at BRNO. I really don't want to let this lead go because I lost that in the Saxon ring and I don't want to do it again. I really want to try and convert this to a race win badly. So let's try and hold on to these guys now behind us and make sure they don't get past us in the remainder of this lap. Okay, we've got 6 tenths to the guys behind. I think we might just have enough of a gap to bring this home through the final couple of corners. Just got to try and pick up a nice apex through this penultimate corner, carry a bit more speed than last lap, and then just fling it into the final corner. And we should be home and dry. And it looks like, yes, we are. As we go for the final corner now, I think we're going to win the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Trying to pop a wheelie across the line, but I'm carrying too much speed. But here we go, across the line, and we win the Czech Republic Grand Prix at BRNO and finally pick up a win. We should have had that at the Saxon ring, but either way I'll take it however it comes. And we also get the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so a hat-trick and clean sweep and Grand Slam for us this weekend at BRNO. So absolutely fantastic result, including the fast lap of the race and pole position. So there you go, a brilliant weekend here at one of the best circuits on MotoGP, and that is going to be a well-deserved 25 points for us in the World Riders Championship. And looking at the World Riders Championship, we are 2 points now behind Canet for the lead of the Riders Championship. So we are really stepping up big time in the championship. We're right behind these guys. So you never know, in the next couple of races that can really swing in our favour and we can really try and stretch out a gap. But finally looking at the constructors, you can see that Mahindra are still a few points behind Honda and Peugeot is still on 0 points. So they've got a bit of recovering to do. But right now, we're doing a fantastic job and all we've got to do is just keep it going. But either way, that was Saxon Ring and BRNO for this episode, and I'll be back for the next one very soon. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and if you did, then a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you have missed any of the videos on screen right now do urge you go check them out if you haven't done so already. Also, I apologise for the dogs barking across the road to where I live. But other than that, guys, hopefully, if you did enjoy the video, do subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already for more content like this, and also Formula 1 content. But thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.